he's got to do what he's got to do, and I don't really see any other fights for Alexander Usyk. One thing I will tell you is, don't count your chickens. I don't think Daniel Dubois will necessarily beat Joseph Parker.
Eddie Hearn, a prominent voice in boxing, has cast doubt on Daniel Dubois' chances of advancing toward a monumental showdown with Alexander Usyk. After Usyk's dominant performance against Tyson Fury in Riyadh, the focus shifted to his next opponent. While Dubois dreams of another clash with the Cat for undisputed glory, his February test against Joseph Parker looms large. According to Hearn, the road ahead for Dubois is far from easy, with Joseph Parker standing as a formidable obstacle. After the highly anticipated match between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk on December 21, 2024, several controversies and fallouts emerged, one of the most talked about being Daniel Dubois' challenge to Usyk. After Usyk's stunning victory over Tyson Fury in Riyadh, Dubois didn't waste a moment. He stormed into the ring, interrupting Usyk's speech and made his intentions clear. "Usyk, I want my revenge," Dubois declared, snatching the microphone from the Ukrainian. "Well done tonight, well played, but I want my revenge for the robbery last time. Let's get it. Let's go. Where is Frank Warren? Make it happen." This bold move has reignited discussions about their previous encounter, where Usyk edged past Dubois in 2023. Dubois insists that a low blow in the fight denied him a fair chance, but he's now determined to prove himself in a rematch. Daniel Dubois' challenge to Alexander Usyk has also sparked a wave of criticism and bashing across the boxing world. His sudden interruption of Usyk's victory speech, demanding a rematch, was seen by many as a chaotic and poorly timed move. The moment shifted the focus from Usyk's impressive win over Tyson Fury to Dubois' challenge, drawing attention for all the wrong reasons. Former world champion Carl Frampton led the criticism, calling Dubois' actions disrespectful on multiple fronts. Not only did it overshadow Fury's post-fight moment, but it also disrespected Usyk, and even Dubois' upcoming bout with Joseph Parker. Frampton acknowledged Dubois' desire to make a statement, but felt the timing and execution were all wrong, undermining the significance of the night's events.
I get the way Dubois was in the ring, obviously trying to make a fight, but it's a little bit disrespectful. First of all, to Tyson Fury. Secondly, to Alexander Usyk. But thirdly, to Joseph Parker, who he's going to fight in February. You know, I didn't quite like that. I understand why he's doing it, but it wasn't my cup of tea.
Former boxer Carl Froch also offered his take on Daniel Dubois' call-out of Alexander Usyk, expressing some reservations about the timing and execution of the challenge. Froch speculated that Dubois' actions might have been influenced by his promoter, Frank Warren, pushing him to make a bit of noise and stir up excitement for a future fight. While Froch understood the intention behind the move, he wasn't fond of how it played out, especially given Usyk's condition after a hard-fought victory over Tyson Fury. He pointed out that Usyk was visibly fatigued, and in the middle of his interview when Dubois unexpectedly barged in.
Daniel Dubois jumped in the ring and said, "Let's get this fight on." I think he was told by Bricktop to do that. Jump in there, make a bit of noise. So Daniel Dubois got in there. I didn't like it because Usyk was tired. He wanted to do his interview, and then he's got Daniel Dubois jumping on. But I understand, he's selling the game, aren't you? Trying to get the next fight. But I didn't like the way he did that. And Usyk's just put in a real shift. He was tired. It was marked up. And he's now having to say, and he actually called it, didn't he? He said, "Turkey al Sheikh."
In terms of a potential rematch, Froch cautioned that Usyk would need to be fully committed and prepared for Dubois, given the latter's rising confidence and form. Dubois, who is known for his power and strength, has been showing great progress, and Froch believed Usyk couldn't afford to approach the fight without the right mentality. With Dubois set to face Joseph Parker next, Froch acknowledged the tough challenges ahead for both fighters. Still, he felt that while a clash between Usyk and Dubois would generate a lot of excitement, Usyk should take some time to savor his hard-earned victory before stepping into another battle.
I wouldn't like to see Usyk get in there with Daniel Dubois and not really fancy it, not want to do it, because Daniel Dubois is young, strong, big puncher. He's flying at the minute. I know he's got Joseph Parker next, but I suppose if Usyk does fight again, that's probably the fight for him. That's the fight that we're going to want to see as fans. But I think Usyk should just go away now, enjoy that win, back-to-back wins against Tyson Fury, who is one hell of a fighter. He's a fantastic fighter.
Malik Scott also believes that Usyk should take a step back and focus on some much-needed rest before considering his next move. He suggested that the Ukrainian champion has earned the right to take a break and wait for the outcomes of the upcoming bouts between Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker. Scott feels that Usyk has done his part in the heavyweight division, and now it's time for the other contenders to prove themselves and make their moves. This approach would give Usyk the chance to recharge while keeping an eye on the competition.
Where does Fury go from here in your eyes?
Fury and Anthony Joshua is definitely one of the biggest fights in the history of the sport right now, and I think they should pursue that And now Alexander Usyk should just go and rest and wait to see what Dubois and Joseph Park do next.
However, Lennox Lewis shared his different perspective on the future of Alexander Usyk, emphasizing the significant decisions the heavyweight champion faces moving forward. Lewis commended the undefeated Ukrainian for his resilience, particularly after his win over Fury. While Usyk has firmly established himself as a top figure in boxing, Lewis noted that Usyk is now at a crossroads, with his next steps dependent on his personal goals. Whether he decides to retire or continue to pursue new challenges, Usyk's future remains full of possibilities.
It goes to London, the biggest fight in history. Maybe Anthony Joshua.
Vladimir Klitschko, the former heavyweight champion from Ukraine, watched his country's new hero, Alexander Usyk, celebrate in the ring after his latest victory. Regarding a potential rematch between Usyk and Daniel Dubois, Klitschko made it clear that he didn't see much value in a second fight. He pointed out that Usyk had already proven himself against Dubois and didn't need to repeat the fight. While he acknowledged the competitive nature of the heavyweight division, Klitschko believed that Usyk had more important challenges ahead and that a Dubois rematch wasn't necessary.
You saw Dubois get in the ring and challenge him to a rematch. How do you see that fight going if it happens?
I don't think Alexander needs any repetition with Dubois. That's my opinion.
Although Dubois is seen as a legitimate contender for Usyk's undisputed heavyweight crown, his immediate call-out after Usyk's victory over Tyson Fury raised eyebrows. Many believe Dubois is putting the cart before the horse, as he still has a crucial fight ahead against Parker in February. Eddie Hearn doesn't seem fully convinced that Dubois will come out victorious against Joseph Parker, noting that the former WBO champion is in the best form of his career. Joseph Parker's confidence, combined with his experience, makes him a formidable opponent for Dubois, who will need to prove himself before any talk of a rematch with Usyk. Hearn's skepticism stems from the fact that Parker is coming off two impressive victories, including a dominant win over Deontay Wilder and a hard-fought triumph against Zhilei Zhang. While Dubois holds the IBF heavyweight title, his win over Anthony Joshua was overshadowed by the fact that Joshua's team shifted focus towards a potential fight with Tyson Fury. Dubois may have the confidence and power to challenge Usyk, but the road to that rematch is not guaranteed, as he must first overcome the challenge Joseph Parker presents. With Joseph Parker on a hot streak, Dubois' title defense might not be as straightforward as many believe. Frank Warren also shared his thoughts on Daniel Dubois' call-out of Alexander Usyk, reinforcing the importance of staying focused on the task at hand. While Warren acknowledged Dubois' ambition to secure a rematch with Usyk, he emphasized that the fight with Joseph Parker in February 2024 should be Dubois' top priority. According to Warren, it's crucial that Dubois doesn't get ahead of himself by thinking too far into the future. With the heavyweight division being so competitive, Dubois must prove himself against Joseph Parker before considering a fight with Usyk or other top contenders. Warren emphasized that this focus is crucial for Dubois' career progression.
Daniel has got a tough fight in February to worry about. That's the main thing he should be worrying about at the moment, and that's his fight against Joe Parker. That is going to be a tough fight for both of them. It's a good fight, and I'm looking forward to that. And after that fight, then let's see what happens.
Joseph Parker also discussed his upcoming clash with Daniel Dubois in an interview with Second Sout, acknowledging Dubois' impressive form and growth as a fighter. He recognized Dubois' relentless pressure and powerful combinations, calling it the toughest challenge of his career. However, Parker remains confident in his own abilities, highlighting his speed, movement, and experience as his key advantages in the fight. He knows that Dubois brings power and aggression to the table, but Parker believes that his technical skills and ring intelligence will be crucial in handling the challenge.
And Daniel is a great fight to be involved with because he's in good form. He's looked great in his last 3 outings, and he's full of confidence. And with each fight, he looked better and better. So I have to be on my game and better than what I was against Zhang and Wilder.
Later, Parker shared the footage on Instagram, captioning it, "Great to see my next dance partner, Dynamite Daniel Dubois, here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Fury versus Usyk." As the two move forward with their training camps, this friendly encounter is sure to add an interesting dynamic to their eventual showdown in the ring.
Let's go. Yeah. Good to see you doing good? Yeah, good. Yeah, looking forward to it. Ready to go, mate. There. There we go, yeah. When did you get in? What did we get?
Too late. 6 this morning.
Oh yeah? From England?
6 o'clock this morning. We were supposed to be here for 2:30 last night, but just got delayed.
Yeah. Delays? Everyone's getting delayed, I think, yeah.
What, you guys?
We got in this morning. Well, 8 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock, yeah.
You got the same hotel?
No, we're somewhere else, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See you soon. Yeah. And you.
to see you.
Good to see you.
There is, I'm Daniel's manager.
Oh, nice to meet you. Yeah. See you soon.
After the Dubois call-out for the fight against Usyk, the possibility of a potential rematch between Dubois and Usyk continues to dominate headlines. However, according to Martin Bakole's trainer Nelson, there is another fighter who could pose a real threat to Usyk. Nelson believes that Bakole is uniquely suited to dethrone Usyk. He pointed out that while Usyk's performance against Fury was impressive, it wasn't as sharp as the first encounter, and he personally scored the fight as a draw, emphasizing just how close it was. "I thought Usyk's performance against Fury wasn't quite as good or sharp as the first fight. I personally scored the fight a draw. It was very close," Nelson said. Nelson went on to explain that Bakole has the skills and attributes to close the gap quickly against Usyk, setting traps that others haven't been able to manage. "The attributes Martin has got are unlike others. He will close the gap down against Usyk very quickly and set traps," he added. He noted that Usyk and his team are aware of the danger Martin poses, given their multiple sparring sessions in Ukraine and Dubai. Nelson also dismissed the idea of a rematch between Usyk and Dubois, calling it unnecessary after Usyk's dominant performance in their previous fight. "I don't think anybody wants to see that because that was a domination," Nelson said, before adding, "I believe Usyk won every single round against Dubois, even given that low blow, which was a low blow. The referee immediately said it was, so we don't need to go there." He firmly believes that the biggest challenge for Usyk would come from Martin Bakole, who is confident he can knock out the Ukrainian champion. Martin believes he would knock him out, Nelson concluded.
So, Martin Bakole is said that he would destroy, crush Alexander Usyk in a fight based on his last performance with Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. Billy Nelson has stated that based on Alexander Usyk's last performance, his fighter Martin Bakole would destroy Alexander Usyk with the relentless pressure, the youth, the hunger, the power, etc.
Usyk has made it clear that he's not ready for any fights at the moment, whether it's against Martin or Dubois, as he's focusing on resting and spending time with his family before making any decisions about his future in the ring. He expressed a strong desire to take a break from the boxing world. In his post-fight press conference, Usyk mentioned that he plans to disconnect from everything for a while. He wants to return home, take a break from his phone, and enjoy some peaceful moments reflecting on life. His main focus now is to rest and spend time with his children, away from the pressures of boxing and any talk about upcoming opponents like Dubois or Tyson Fury.
Listen, my next step, I wanna rest because my little daughter Maria. Today, my wife sent me a message video. My little daughter say, "Daddy, Daddy," 10.5 months. I look at my little daughter, 2 months. Now I wanna rest. Not think about boxing, Dubois, Tyson Fury. Just rest. Just play with my children.
His promoter, Alex Krassyuk, echoed Usyk's sentiments, stressing that Daniel Dubois must first face Joseph Parker, a challenge that Krassyuk believes is far from easy for the British fighter. He emphasized that it's too soon to talk about a potential rematch between Usyk and Dubois, with the focus needing to remain on Dubois' upcoming bout before any further discussions.
Dubois has to fight Joseph Parker, and this is a very tough fight for him. I have my bet with Joseph Parker, so it's too early to mention here Daniel's name in regards to Usyk.
Usyk and his promoter have both made it clear that discussing a rematch with Daniel Dubois is premature, as Dubois still has to prove himself against Joseph Parker in February. However, Turki Al-Sheikh, the Saudi promoter, has a different perspective on the future of heavyweight boxing. While acknowledging the uncertainty of a potential Usyk-Dubois rematch, he has hinted that if Dubois comes out on top against Joseph Parker, the two could face off again in the near future. Although Eddie Hearn has advised Daniel Dubois to focus on his fight against Joseph Parker, his his primary focus remains on the highly anticipated showdown between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Even after Fury's recent loss to Alexander Usyk, Hearn continues to emphasize the significance of this matchup, considering it one of the most important and historic potential events in British boxing. He believes that Fury versus Joshua is a fight that transcends setbacks and will attract massive global attention. Tyson Fury himself had announced his intention to fight Anthony Joshua in an Instagram post at the beginning of 2024. In the post, Fury shared an update for the year, confidently stating his plans to face Joshua at least once, with the possibility of a rematch. His words reflect his strong determination and readiness to take on this challenge, no matter the obstacles in his career. After Tyson's unofficial announcement, the possibility of this fight between the two seems more likely than ever. Carl Frosch has a unique perspective on Tyson Fury's future, especially in light of his recent losses to Alexander Usyk. While Frosch acknowledges the appeal of a potential mega fight with Anthony Joshua, which would undoubtedly be a massive event at Wembley, he believes that Fury may want to consider retiring. He describes the potential Fury versus Joshua fight as a rubber match, a fitting way to close Fury's legendary career. Frosch notes that while the Fury versus Joshua fight would attract huge attention, it almost feels like a battle of the losers, with both fighters having been outclassed by Usyk.
But I can see the enticement. I can see the rubber match between him and AJ. But Tyson, I don't know how he's going to take that. That was another not devastating loss, but it's another loss. And on the build-up there, when he was giving Usyk some beef and saying, "I'm the champion, you're effing this and you're effing that and you rabbit," and he was getting wound up, you could see that he actually got a bit of hatred for Usyk there, because he's ruined his legacy and he's ruined him at the end of his career. But it will get a big crowd at Wembley Stadium, and that will be a sign-off payday. But to be honest, it's not a big fight for me. It's not something I get excited for. It's almost like the battle of the losers, isn't it? They both lost to Usyk.
Johnny Nelson agrees with Carl Frosch's perspective on Tyson Fury, but he also adds that Alexander Usyk should consider retiring while he's at the top. Johnny Nelson believes that Tyson Fury should consider walking away from boxing. Nelson acknowledges that while Fury has the financial security to step away, he can also see how the allure of a massive payday with Anthony Joshua might tempt him back into the ring. Both fighters are incredibly wealthy, and Nelson points out that they don't need to fight anymore, making retirement a strong option.
I think I think he should walk away. And that's only because I think his heart and soul will be absolutely broken. But you know what? I can see what'll happen. They'll try and dangle a massive carrot between him and AJ to fight each other. These guys are millionaires, mad millionaires. They don't need to fight.
According to Nelson, Usyk should also retire and follow in the footsteps of those rare fighters who choose to walk away at the peak of their careers. He acknowledges Usyk's potential for a rematch with Daniel Dubois, but stresses that the Ukrainian champion has already achieved enough to consider retiring on top.
And what about Alexander Usyk? Because I was saying earlier that he's completed the game.
Be the boss, walk away from it, be one of the very few to walk on top.
Daniel Dubois rematch?
I know he said that in the ring, could do it, but be one of the very few to walk on top.
The spotlight in the heavyweight division continues to shift as Daniel Dubois prepares for his crucial fight against Joseph Parker in February. While Dubois is eyeing a potential rematch with Alexander Usyk, he has a tough challenge ahead with Joseph Parker, who is on a hot streak after several big wins. Eddie Hearn and other boxing experts have stressed that Dubois needs to prove himself against Parker before looking ahead to Usyk. This fight will be a defining moment for Dubois' career, with his future in the division hanging in the balance. What do you think? Can Dubois really overcome Joseph Parker to earn a rematch with Usyk, or is he biting off more than he can chew? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.